Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of r/slash entitled people. In today's episode, a lady got mad at me for moving her book off a seat and called me a fatta, and now I'm hoping I never see her again. Crazy lady at the vet. Entitled Basketball Parents. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. A lady got mad at me for moving her book off a seat and called me a fatta, and now I'm hoping I never see her again. This happened just about a week ago, and it's still in my head and still makes me shaky. Here's what happened. I was on my way to my job after class, and when I got to the bus stop, I see a lady going through her bag and maybe rearranging her things. But she had her book on the one seat that was remaining. The stop only had 2 normal seats and 4 lean seats. At this point, my legs were shaking since I haven't been to physical therapy classes in a while, and it's hard for me to stand up for long periods of time. So, I tried to ask the lady politely to move her book so I can sit down, and she did not budge. She just kept going through her bag. So I asked again and still no answer. At this point, I was feeling a bit dizzy, so I decided to use the back of my hand to move her book without making her think that I was stealing it and avoid a misunderstanding. But as I was doing so, the lady suddenly slapped my hand and picked up her book and slightly yelled at me, "Do not touch my stuff." I tried to apologize and explain that I was only moving it, but she cuts me off saying in a tone that sounded more threatening, "Well, it still gives you no right to touch my belongings." And hearing that just flat out scared me, so I just sat down and looked at my phone. That is when I suddenly heard her talk to herself, saying she won't let stupid people like me ruin her day, and then called me a fatta, and safe to say I was not happy about that. So, when the bus arrived, I got on before she did and told the driver what happened. He then asked me if she threatened me with violence, to which I said no, and he then asked me where I'm getting off at, and I tell him, and he said, "Okay, I'll just stop there for you. Go ahead and sit at a seat closest to me and I'll get you there." And honestly, I wish I was able to tip that man for his kindness. And when he got me to my stop in my head, I'm just hoping to never see that lady ever again. Edit. Thank you to everyone that committed on this post. I read every single one of them, and I'm happy to know that I'm not ignored and is receiving good advice. For those so suggested getting a cane, I'll get one ASAP. And for those who suggested calling the busing company, I'll do that too. The bus driver does indeed deserve a praise for how he helped me through that situation, and I'll make sure I'll get him a small gift. If not, I hope a praise is enough. And last, for those who suggested calling the police yet again, I'll do that too if that lady tries anything funny, if and when we meet each other yet again. You didn't do anything wrong. Since you have issues standing for long periods, it may help you to carry a cane. The bonus of that would be that it signals to people that you have a physical issue, and it may make people more sympathetic without you having to explain. And you can accidentally tap rude people with it. You can get folding walking sticks, put it in a backpack or handbag for when you need the extra support, or to make a point about your invisible disabilities. Some are very lightweight. I have a folding cane that has a Velcro strap on it. I just loop the Velcro through my belt, that way it's easy to get to when I need it. Something like that might be a good option for them. Crazy lady at the vet. I work part-time at a veterinary hospital. They have a regular client who is a wealthy woman.
I'm 19 M.
It was my first time meeting her. I don't know her age. She was older than 35 for sure. She ended up tipping me, personally, and while making that very clear, $100 because I helped stay with her dog over the weekend at the clinic. The woman clearly loves her dog, and I thought the tip was because she was grateful. While giving me this money, she gave me some compliments and joked about wanting to take me out on a date. I politely declined, assuming she was not serious. I tried to give her money back. She said something like, "Maybe another time. You keep this," referring to the money. She leaves in good spirits with her dog. I give the money to the clinic. I get a call 3 days later from a colleague who is complaining to me about how this lady keeps asking for me at the clinic. A few more days go by and I'm back at work. The owner tells me she has been demanding for her money back because I lied to her. They have sent her away each time and have also threatened to remove her as a client. The owner wanted to get my side of the story. That same day, the lady shows up because someone got fed up with her calls on their shift and told her when I'd be next in. Here's where it got kind of crazy. She, I'm not kidding, demands, "You do what I say." I don't even know how to respond. It's the first thing she comes up and says. I just raise a brow. And she adds, "I paid you."
I'm calm.
I try to clarify, "What exactly did you pay me for?" She refuses to explain. Now she just wants her money back. I'm not about to argue over this, and I don't want to make the clinic pay. I tell her I don't have $100 on me at the moment, but I'll get her money. She grabs my arm and tries to lead me out to her car. "Let's go right now." A colleague quickly pulled cash and passed it to me. I gave it to the woman. She said, "I don't need that," then called me a racial slur. She left the money on the ground. At this point, the owner told her she needs to leave and she is no longer a client at his practice. A police report was also made, so she's not allowed on the premises. This is probably one of the top 10 weirdest things that has ever happened to me. I genuinely do not understand some people. Unchecked mental health, maybe? It's wild to me that she was a regular and nothing ever happened with her before. She's been with this clinic for about half a year with her new pet, but she was a client previously too, some years back. Anyone else suddenly have that song, Mrs. Robinson, in their head? LOL. Entitled Basketball Parents. This happened several years ago, but every time I think of this, I just have to shake my head. IF, 30 at the time, was in my third year of coaching a 5-6-year-old girls basketball team. I did not have a kid on the team, but had started with this team while coaching a friend's daughter. She had moved on to a 7/8 grade team, but I agreed to stay on another year. Note that this is a volunteer, unpaid position. I did not live in the team district and had quite a drive to the gym where we met twice a week for practice and/or practice/games. It is always interesting dealing with parents, but this year was tougher than the previous years. For example, parents would be late picking their kids up for practice, and of course I had to wait with the kids until they were claimed. One kid stopped coming to the practices and only showed up at games. The parents got mad at me when I told them the kid would not play in the next game unless she came to practice. It seemed like every week there was some kind of issue or complaint. Then the straw that broke the camel's back. At the end of the season, we play in a few tournaments where we would play a couple games on a given day. For the first tournament, I bought donuts for the kids to eat after the games, which they were excited about. After the kids had their fill, I offered the remaining donuts to the parents. As I was gathering up the balls, the medical kit, and the scorebook, I was tapped on the shoulder. It was one of the mothers. "Are you the one who brought the donuts?" she asked. "Yes," I replied. I had not gotten a single thank you from any parent this year for coaching the kids or setting up the tournaments, and was ready for some positive feedback. "Next time," she replied with almost contempt, "don't get so many with sprinkles." And she walked away. I am usually quick with a comeback, but I was speechless. The following week, did not bring donuts. The following year, did not coach. Kind of reminds a news blurb I heard on my drive to work this morning. Some colleges are choosing to pass on top-tier players because of the entitlement, read, demands of the players' parents. Some people shouldn't be parents. Roughly related, but the number of unfilled school referee/umpire positions is an ever-growing canyon, mainly due to the parents. School bus drivers as well. There's not many left willing to put up with terrorist parents. These kids are going to be unemployable as adults. A lot of the parents are unemployable now. And the next time when anyone complains about lack of donuts, just point at the evil mom and say, "She complained about the donuts." If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.